Hello everyone, back tuning in to the 6th update for Christmas. So we've done 5 updates so far since the start of November. We're using the long-range CFS V2 model 9-monthly forecast from the website meteoseal.fa. You can find the link to that website on the links page. So periodically, every other day, something like that, we are checking out the long-range CFS V2 model, which runs out to 9 months, see what it's showing for around Christmas period. Remember, we can't pinpoint this down to exact weather on just one day on Christmas Day. It's far too far away to be able to do that. So essentially what we're doing is just looking for trends around the period of Christmas. So we are starting in the earlier part of December, running through Christmas, and then going out beyond Christmas into early January. Just look at what the trends are around this period. Some days, of course, will deviate from the trend and will show a different scenario. But overall, as we run through these updates and we get closer to the period we're interested in, which is late December, we should be able to start pinning down the trend of the model. If the model is working correctly. So we're going to do the 6th update in a moment. The last couple of updates have been quite interesting. They show cold Christmases. Particularly the 4th update was a very cold and snowy update. The 5th update, a little bit less so, but was still pretty cold with a lot of wintry weather. We'll see what the 6th update has to say in a moment. Before I get on with that, just say about the ads. There's links to articles on all the pages. Have a browse widgets and click through the links. If there's any articles that you're interested in, you're going to be helping us to pay for the website. Thanks very much for doing that. There's also video ads, both pages. They own that content. When you watch, they close back up again. Helps pay for gas service. And also, the shop is open. So, if you've got anything to shop to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, all you have to do is click the green button that says Christmas Shop. That'll take you to our Christmas page where you'll be greeted by snowflakes coming down your screen, and there's also a little message just giving you perhaps your first Merry Christmas from Gazwovids of the season. But the most important thing is the Amazon banners, because when you get to Christmas page, you click through the Amazon banners, it'll take you to Amazon, and then you just do your Christmas shopping as normal. You don't need to do anything different whatsoever, just purely the fact that you've gone from Gazwovids to Amazon. That means we get a revenue fee on the items, Christmas presents that you purchase. We actually have the shop running all year round, but I only plug it at Christmas when people are doing their Christmas shopping. So if you've got any shopping to do at Amazon, whether it's Christmas shopping or not, between now and Christmas, just click through the Amazon banners and you'll be able to do that. And Gazwovids will get a revenue fee on the things that you are purchasing. Thanks very much for doing that. So just to explain about the model again, we're using the CFS 9-monthly forecast from the website meteoseal.fa. You can find the link to Meteoseal on the links page. It was generated midday yesterday. There was a 24-hour delay on the charts coming through. So it's generated midday yesterday. We always try and use the same run, the midday run. Then we can't be told off for cherry picking cold charts or anything like that. This is exactly how they come out as we do them. So midday yesterday, 11th of November. Right, going to start a little bit earlier than normal. On the 5th of December, we've got high pressure centred over the UK for the early part of December. That will probably be bringing a lot of frost and foggy conditions with it. That high pressure stays with us through the 7th on into the 8th. So quite a cold, frosty, foggy start to December. First week does look pretty cold indeed. Comes some hard frost actually under that night frost and about high pressure. Now the high pressure slinks away to the south as we go through towards the 10th, trying to bring the Atlantic in, but also pressure is beginning to rise up towards Greenland, so quite a complicated pattern taking place there. But as we go through towards the 11th, it looks like winds are beginning to go into the north or the northeast with high pressure up around Greenland. So it's started to bring cold air out of the Arctic, out of the Norwegian Sea, down into Scotland. Risk of snow showers there. That continues as we go through the 11th on into the 12th. We get quite a plunge of cold air. Really cold across Scandinavia, by the way. Severely cold there on the 12th of December. We just bring down a general cold northerly flow with snow showers probable in northern east parts. So quite a cold start to December here, with the frosty, foggy period to start off with. Then this northerly, northeasterly. That'd be quite a cold start to December. The high pressure slips down over the country as we run up towards the middle part of December. This is taking us up to the 14th. A lot of high pressure still going on then, so that's more frost and foggy conditions. I think the first half of December is looking cold. However, by 14th, we're beginning to bring the winds back into the west or southwest with outbreaks of rain trying to head in towards Ireland and the far southwest of England. Milder air beginning to push up from the Atlantic. That low pressure comes through on the 15th, turning it briefly milder and more unsettled, but that gets out of the way on the 16th, moving to the east. Winds go back into the north again, so more cold air is pulled back across the country. That could bring some wintry showers or even snow showers into eastern parts of the country in particular. It's just look a cold first half of December, I have to say. Beyond that, high pressure's back in again, so more frost and fog likely on the 17th of December, and that continues up towards the 18th as well. Low pressure by the 18th of December is trying to come in from the Atlantic. So that hits the cold air. It could start to bring some snow into western parts of the country. So then we're running up towards Christmas. So we go through to the 19th on into the 20th. And low pressure is breaking through here. It's a bit of a struggle. It probably would bring a bit of a snow event across the country. But by the 20th, we're into a westerly, southwesterly flow. So the temperatures will be starting to lift up after that cold first half. Notice high pressures in over Scandinavia. That, if it built and gave us easy winds, so that will give us a cold run up towards Christmas. But actually what this run of the CFS 9-month forecast wants to do is bring the Atlantic back, and it really brings it back. By the 21st of December, look at that, a very, very deep area of low pressure, deep storm in the Atlantic, bringing severe gales across the country and outbreaks of heavy rain as we run up towards Christmas. So let's go up to Christmas itself. This is the 23rd of December on to the 24th, and it looks very stormy. Look at that, very stormy indeed. 950 millibar area of low pressure just to the south of Ireland. Severe gales battering the country on Christmas Eve. That would be a real storm, and it'd probably be very disruptive. Actually, you'd be putting down power lines and trees with those sort of severe gales. This takes up to midnight on Christmas Day, and that looks incredibly stormy. Actually, you can't really make out the UK because the isobars are so tightly packed, but just really severe gales. It's not storm force winds battering the country Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. So this is completely different from anything that we've seen so far. I haven't seen anything this stormy showing up so far. Christmas Day, this is midday Christmas Day, and it looks stormy. Looks quite cold as well. Will be wintry showers to the north, probably rain showers in the south, but the main thing is the winds, still very strong gale force winds battering the country. We move through into Boxing Day, and we do it all over again. Another area of low pressure sweeping up from southwest, not quite as intense with this one, but nevertheless still bringing another batch of very wet weather and no doubt severe gales to particularly southern and western parts of the country as well. So this is a very different update compared to anything we've had so far. I haven't had anything this stormy, and that's just how it's come out for this particular run. Now we go up towards New Year, and it's staying westerly, but the winds are backing more towards the southwest. This is milder as we run up towards the New Year. No doubt quite a bit of wet weather in the north as well. New Year's Day looks like this. We've got high pressure building up from the south. That will be quite a mild and fairly pleasant New Year's Day. Actually, start of 2017 does look a lot milder and drier then, much calmer conditions compared to what we have going up into Christmas. And then very quickly looking at the first week of January. So what happens is that high pressure gives us the mild weather on New Year's Day, goes up to Scandinavia through the first week of January. And that starts to turn the winds into the east. We've got quite a deep cold pool there sitting across Germany. And through the first week of January, that heads our way. So we don't have to wait long into the new year before we pull in some bitterly cold easterly winds. And no doubt there'll be a lot of heavy snow coming in with that. So we go from the stormy conditions of Christmas through to a bit of a freeze-up in the new year, and that just continues through the first week of January. We maintain those easterly winds. They ease off, so we lose the snow risk, but it will stay very cold and and no doubt a lot of frost in with that as well. So, bit of an odd update, this one. The first half of December looking quite cold with loads of frost and fog. Then suddenly, around Christmas, we get that burst of very severe stormy weather, and it really does look a battering. If that was to come off, we would certainly know about it, with lots of stormy winds around Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Then it turns calmer as we run up towards New Year, and then we're engulfed by a big freeze from the east in the first week of January. Looks a very extreme run. I'm not sure about this one at all. But of course, it's another option. It's a possibility, and it just tells us that the mod still doesn't have a trend yet for this period. It's still flailing around looking for different solutions and different options. Eventually, as we get closer towards Christmas, probably be around the end of November and start of December, it will start to run with a particular trend. Well, certainly that's been the case over the past 3 years when we've done this update. I suppose it's possible that it would never get a trend and we just keep chopping and changing the scenario running up to Christmas. But I've got a feeling we'll get further on and we will start to see one particular solution cropping up more and more. So that's it. Not very good news if you want a cold Christmas for this particular update. The 6th update has delivered us a stormy Christmas, followed by a really cold New Year. We'll wait and see what the 7th update has in store, and that's going to be with you on Monday evening. Right, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.